Reverend Don Lewis, coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from a whole bunch of people. Because yesterday's vlog, which dealt with the idea of binding yourself to other people, particularly through hand fasting, apparently is very relevant to many of our viewers. And the question that many people have asked since yesterday's vlog is, if I have bound myself to another person for life or for all time and now regret it, what can I do about it? Because there are a lot of people who have done this and they now regret it. And the good news is there are things you can do about it. The mere fact that you've undertaken this vow does not mean that there is no way that it can be dissolved. So these are my recommendations, and if you follow the vlog, they will be familiar things, because I'm one of those people who believes that when something works well, you use it as much as you can. But these three things I'm going to recommend will be helpful if you have bound yourself to someone you no longer want to be bound to, particularly if the relationship is totally over. Because what happens is that when these relationships end, the people who have bound themselves to the other person are often still stuck in that relationship, even though it isn't even still there. So what can you do? The first and simplest thing to do is a burning, to work on the cord between yourself and the other person. And in a burning, you write down what you want to manifest or send away. In this case, it would be to send away, and it would be the connection to that relationship. And you would burn it, you would use a little energetic visualization, you would use a prayer or incantation, you would send it away. That's the simplest thing that almost anyone can do as a place to start. If you find that this is particularly conducive to you, then you might also want to write down all of your feelings about that person and that relationship and release them through burning as well. The nice thing about a burning is that it does not work with the conscious mind. It bypasses the conscious mind and works with your higher self. And I found them highly effective, and I strongly recommend them. The second thing that I would recommend is cutting the cords that connect you spiritually to that person, which literally addresses the binding. And the way that you do this, you go into meditation and you look for the connections, and then you psychically cut them, and you seal them so they can't reconnect. And chances are, in a situation like this, you'll find a lot of them, and you'll have to do it more than once. So be prepared to do it more than once, but that's okay. Keep doing it until you've resolved the situation. Look for the cords, you'll find them, you cut them, you seal them, you release the person. Now, this doesn't mean that all possibilities for the future are ended simply because you've cut these cords that bind you to this other person. What it means is that the past is released. And if there's anything positive there that can come in the future, it could still come. It's the patterns of the past that you're cutting when you cut these attachments. And the third thing I would recommend is soul retrieval. And to do soul retrieval for the connection between yourself and the person, and also for any previous connection that might come from previous lifetimes, because chances are it's not the first time around. So these would be the three things that I would primarily recommend for dissolving this kind of binding when you have bound yourself to another person unwisely and now wish to be unbound. And there are certainly other techniques. You can go out and research them and find others. These would be the ones I find most effective and the ones I would recommend. So I hope all the people who are having this problem find this helpful. And remember, the next time that you go into a relationship, as long as love shall last is the best policy. And so, until next time, may you blessed be. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world. Reverend Don, super omnibus of incantations and invocations for all occasions. Mary Ann Kay and I created this massive compendium of magic and artwork for you to use in any way that you would like. There are literally hundreds of spells and hundreds of illustrations, which can be mixed and matched and used in many different ways. Check it out now at witchghoulstore.com.